Hi, I'm Renee Terrell and I'm here with Izariah Udom-Ritko, and Izzy's going to talk us through a comparison of the European banks versus the US banks in 2016. So Izzy, how are the European banks doing versus the US banks?
This year they're not doing terribly well actually. So whereas typically your big European banks, so the big four we tend to be talking about is your UBS, Credit Suisse, your Barclays and your Deutsche Bank, whereas typically they would make up around 20% of the global investment banking fee pool. This year, in 2016 year to date, they're only making up 14% of the global investment banking fee pool, which is a record low for them. So they're not seeing great times.
Okay, so are there any reasons, can you talk to us about the reasons behind why that is happening?
A number of reasons, apart from the geopolitical uncertainty created by Brexit, which has caused the markets to a lot of uncertainty, and a decrease in the deal pipeline as well. It's also because there's a lot of regulatory strain that the European banks are under. So a lot of European banks are having to boost their capital ratios, which means that they're not able to do some of the big risky loans that they typically would undertake.
Okay, so you've talked a bit about the European banks. How are the US banks faring in this market?
They're doing not too badly actually. So over the last 10 years, the average that the US banks tend to take is around about 32%. And the US banks we're talking about are your typical bulge brackets, your Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BAML, JP Morgan. And that has remained static this year. So they're still taking 32% of the global investment banking fee pool. And again, the reasons we're seeing for that is the home markets of the US is a lot stronger. Their M&A has remained, even though it's dropped from last year, it's remained a little more buoyant compared to the European markets and what's happening over here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your insight, Izzy.
Thanks, Renee.